11,000 years ago, the archaeology tells us that the flat fields of Star Carr in Yorkshire were a Mesolithic paradise. And one of the most amazing finds from the site is what looks like a pile of old wood that could be the key to explaining the life and beliefs of the people from Star Carr. Because it suggests an intimate connection between everyday life and those mysterious shamanic headdresses. These precious pieces of wood have survived for 11,000 years. They're now stored in a controlled environment at the University of York.
This is actually the oldest evidence of carpentry that we've got in Europe.
Wow. How can you tell? How do you know that that isn't just a piece of tree?
Well, some of the pieces have been split, and you can see that. I mean, I'm going to be really, really careful with this piece here.
Okay.
But if I just turn it round here, we have pieces which are very thin. One piece going that way, and then this is a piece underneath.
Wow, so that's basically a plank.
Yeah, it's been split.
And that's using some kind of flint-bladed axe?
Yeah,
just to chop the tree in half?
Yeah, just using flint axes, and there are lots of flint axes found from site.
What are these two bits here?
So these are smaller pieces of wood over the top. You can see actually underneath this one, there's another timber underneath. And so it looks like they were laying down one layer and then putting down another and then another on top of it as well.
So what were they building? Well, Nikki's convinced these pieces of wood formed a series of timber platforms running along the lake edge.
You can see that they stretch for some of them about 10 metres.
Wow. Now that I'm looking at the photograph, it does seem more obviously like they've been placed there. But can you be sure that this isn't just, I don't know, there was a heavy rainfall and the water just washed this wood into a big pile?
I mean, the way that they've been placed on top of each other, they're very clearly put there. And there's not only just that one, there are 3 of these platforms on the side of the lake, and they all date to slightly different periods of time. So for the 800 years that people are there, probably by putting these timbers down, they're stabilising the lake muds and make it easier to get out into the lake.
But what were they doing on the lake? I guess the platforms would make a great spot for fishing. Even Clive could catch something from one of these. Or they could have been jetties to pull out small boats. But Nikki thinks the platforms went far beyond the purely practical.
They're all doing some strange things at Star Carr. You know, they're depositing artefacts like the headdresses in the lake. And so you do wonder whether actually there might be some kind of ritual element to the use of the platforms as well.
This may sound like a crazy theory, but it's not. Because evidence from other ancient cultures around the world reveals that ritual offerings were often placed in lakes. Water was spiritually important. So these platforms could have been stages on which shamanic rituals were performed and offerings made into the lake. And the evidence makes one thing crystal clear. These practices and beliefs endured here for hundreds of years.